Taking a deep breath in. And just breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. The next inhale, just scanning the body from the head all the way down to the toes. And just checking in with the mind. What's going on in the mind? And then just putting any worries or concerns aside while we do this compassion course, understanding what the Buddha actually taught. So we're going to set our intention to go through the first verse of this sutta, the Metta Sutta, the teaching from the Buddha. So opening your eyes, getting present to the presentation, and we're going to go through. So just a quick recap as to how this sutra came about. Teachings from the Buddha to the monks who were disturbed by tree spirits. And he urged them to practice lovingkindness towards all beings, and then they were able to tolerate the spirits' peace happily and increase their connection and happiness. So this is an overview. So recapping verse 1, and here is verse 2. So the key words from this is wise, content, serene, and impartial. So let's go into those. And here is the actual quote from the Buddha, verse 2. So contented, easily supported, with few duties, of light livelihood, with senses calmed, prudent, not imprudent, not greedily attached to families. So let's have a look at those words. So we'll start with content. So being contented, one who is contented is in a place where we don't need anything. We're content with what we have. So a lot of the gratitude practices can lead towards contentment. And contentment is the greatest response to any fear or antidote to fear, and accepting what we have and looking at what we have got. So discontent comes about when we want more than what we need. And this can be attached to food. So we may eat our food and then want more. It may be attached to money. We might want more money than we actually need. I think there's been some research saying that if you reach to 75,000 in the West, let's say, for your earnings, there's once you've got to that, between 75,000 upwards, it's not going to make any more difference to your happiness levels and contentment. So it might be something worth thinking about, is what do you actually need to be content? And it's also about being content with our families and the time that we have with our families. So not greedily attached, not wanting more. And this is interesting to think about it in terms of where we're at the moment with the lockdown. And we kind of want to spend more time with our families because we can't. So when there's that restraint on things, it kind of like wants to grab more, perhaps more than what we would have normally spent time with our family. So it's interesting to look at that aspect of how it affects our thinking. It's really getting into that not possessing another person or becoming obsessive over that person and controlling. So it's about stepping back from that. And the wisdom actually comes in from that, is knowing what you can control and what you can't control with other people. So if you think about that with parenting, there's certain things that you can say to your children and advise them, but then there's a certain thing they will go and do their own thing anyway, and that is out of your control. So it's about accepting that. So it says easily supported. So this is really about kind of being frugal and having the ability to make do with little. I'll give you an example of this in terms of possessions, is that my partner and I spent 6 months in Africa, and we basically didn't have much space. So in terms of kitchen utensils and equipment and things like that, it all boiled down to very simple things of having 2 bowls, 2 cups, 2 knives, 2 forks, and kind of limiting what we really need. And when we returned from that trip and going back into the kitchen, I started to see within the kitchen we have all these different things that we don't really need. So you can be supported by a few things if you really think about what you really need. Few duties. So this is, again, it's not filling your day with lots of different activities. You have to do this and then not having the time to do the practice. And that's the key thing here. Livelihood, we've said about this already in terms of making sure that it's not a heavy livelihood. I mean, heavy livelihood, I guess you could look at in terms of if you're working so many hours and you don't have time for yourself, you don't have time for meditation, you've got so many duties, so many things to attend to. I guess you could look at the monk's way of life is a bit easier, as they don't have children to attend to, and they don't have financial things to attend to either. However, I guess just take it for your own view is to just incorporate some time, some downtime for you to practice. Maybe delegating some tasks to other family members. So senses calm down. This is the 6 senses, so calming down the 6 senses, and that's where we want to get to. So we're not reacting straight away into the 6 senses. We don't hear something and then act on that sound. So a meditator must control the 6 senses. on seeing sight with the eye, you can say just seeing, seeing, seeing. If you hear a sound, you can say hearing, 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 and then bring the mind back to the meditation to not allow any mental defilements to arise. Prudence here and not prudence, it means to basically know what is suitable for the developing the concentration. So, you know, there's 7 kinds of suitable things that one should know about. Is I guess the kind of residence, the food, the speech, the teachers and companions, weather, and posture. And if one of these things is unsuitable, you might find it hard to develop concentration. So, for example, if you haven't had breakfast in the morning, then you're going to find it hard to concentrate. So prudence actually means kind of knowing what to do in the right moment. So let's say we relate this to finance. Maybe it's more prudent to invest in something which is lower risk than putting everything in one basket into a high risk area. So when we relate to this, it's knowing what is prudent to your practice. So do you have somewhere to practice that's quiet? Do you have somewhere to practice, you know, someone to practice with? Do you have a teacher? That kind of thing is to look at that. Is the weather, you know, right? If you're practicing outside, let's say, and if one of these is out, then you're going to find it hard to concentrate. And the other thing that's not prudent is to avoid the wrong speech. And what we mean by this is that one's mental attitude should be free from pride, arrogance, and contempt. And the best thing to do is to act with and speak with awareness, and then you can start to be present to how the other person is reacting in body language or in speech. So finally, not greedily attached to families is to remain equanimous regarding happiness and sorrow, showing no partiality. So this is the impartiality element to this. So avoiding corruption. And also, family could be a community. So if you belong to a community, let's say meditation group or a volunteering group, something like that, then it's not grasping onto those people or connecting to them. So it's cultivating genuine love and kindness towards those people, and going against corruption in terms of kindness of what you may get out of those people, as opposed to practicing impartiality. So one example of this could be that parents could spoil their children and with too much affection, too much generosity, that can be something that attaches us to families. We might experience that with grandmothers and grandfathers providing gifts to grasp and want to connect with their granddaughters or grandsons, rather than actually giving the gift from their heart. And I think that's something that you can look into. And it's back to this understanding why we're giving. What's the intention behind giving that gift, that time? So find a comfortable place, sitting upright, with the back straight. And then just bringing the hands together in front of the chest. Just taking a nice deep inhale through the nose, lifting up the hands and exhaling, stretching the fingertips out to the side, relaxing the shoulders as you come down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And then bringing one hand on top of the other, and just let the thumbs touch, and resting the hands on top of the thighs. Taking a deep breath in and breathing out. On the next inhale, just scanning the body from the head all the way down to the toes. Just getting present to all the points of contact with the floor or the chair. And now checking in with the mind. What mind state are you currently in? Are you relaxed? Or are you restless, agitated, thinking about the things you're going to do today? Or are you in bliss? Just check in where you're at and just note it. And now I invite you to leave any worries or concerns, pushing them aside for this meditation, taking your shoes off before entering a building. So setting our intention for a love and kindness practice. The purpose being to increase benevolence to ourselves and those around us, leaving us feeling touched, moved, connected and inspired to go from doing love and kindness to being love and kindness. So starting with ourselves, bring a picture to mind of yourself. Could be a picture that you've taken recently on your phone, or it could be a younger version of yourself. Just bring that picture to mind. May I be well. Imagining yourself physically well and mentally well. Wishing wellness for yourself. May I be happy. Putting a smile on your face. Just bringing a moment of joy to mind. And wishing happiness for yourself.
May I be peaceful. Imagining yourself at peace. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Wishing peace for yourself. May I be safe. Imagining a circle of light around you, protecting you. No illnesses affecting you. No fears afflicting you. Wishing safety for yourself. Now bringing to mind someone that you love very much. Could be a family member or a friend. Someone that you're not romantically involved with. Bring that person to mind. May they be well. Imagining them physically well and mentally well. Wishing wellness for them. May they be happy. Imagining them with a smile on their face and joyful and content. Wishing happiness for them. May they be peaceful. Imagining them at peace. Wishing peace for them. May they be safe. Imagining them protected. Wishing safety for them. Now bringing to mind someone who's neutral, perhaps a neighbour or the postman, someone you see regularly and you don't know their name. Bring that person to mind. May they be well. Imagining them physically and mentally well. Wishing wellness for them. May they be happy. Imagining them joyful and content. Wishing happiness for them. May they be peaceful. Imagining them at peace. Wishing peace for them. May they be safe. Imagining them protected. Wishing safety for them. Now bring to mind someone who you may have had a slight disagreement with. He may not be speaking at the moment. Could have been something that they said, or something that they did, or something they didn't do. Just bring that person to mind. May they be well. Imagining them physically and mentally well. Wishing wellness for them. May they be happy. Imagining them joyful and content. Wishing happiness for them. May they be peaceful. Imagining them at peace. Wishing peace for them. May they be safe. Wishing safety for them. Now bringing to mind a community that you belong to. It could be a sports group, it could be a work community or a neighbourhood or a virtual community, Facebook or Meetup. Bring that group of people to mind, imagining them standing in front of you. May they all be well. Imagining wellness for all. Wishing them well. May they all be happy. Imagining them joyful and content. Wishing happiness for all. May they all be peaceful. Imagining them all at peace. Wishing peace for all. May they all be safe. Imagining them all protected. Wishing safety for all. Now going outside that community to a wider community. Perhaps the town where you live, or the village, or the whole city, bringing all beings to mind. And then outside of that city, to other parts of the country where you live, perhaps people that live in the north, or the south, or the east or the west of that country, bringing all beings to mind. And then to other countries. So everyone in France, Spain, Germany, Portugal, Switzerland, to Asian countries, Burma, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Tibet, Afghanistan, Iran, China, Japan, to South America, Brazil, Peru, and America and Canada, bringing all beings to mind. May they all be well. Imagining wellness for all. Wishing wellness for all. May they all be happy. Imagining a sea of smiling and laughing faces. Wishing happiness for all. May they all be peaceful. Imagining them all at peace. Wishing peace for all. May they all be safe. Imagining them all protected. Wishing safety for all. Now bringing your hands together in front of the chest and just taking a deep breath in and bringing one thing to mind that you're truly grateful for. Putting a smile on your face. Allowing that joy into your life. taking a bow of gratitude to yourself for practicing this love and kindness meditation, to open your heart to yourself and to those around you. Taking a deep breath in, just scanning the body from the head. Is it different to when you started? Just note what's going on. And then slowly coming back to the breath, releasing the hands down. Getting present to sounds coming and going.